Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, and this is a LOTRO guide. And today, I want to talk about real quick the different kind of quest tracker glowing and effects, right? I'll think of the right word for the title of this, so whatever the title of the video is. But basically the tracking abilities, all right, of the quests. I have a bunch of great quests right now that kind of help show those different things. So click M, right? First, for one, your quests have to be on your tracker. You can have up to 10 now at the time you're making this video, which is fantastic. So you can have 10 quests on there. But let's go ahead and look here. When we go hit M, you see there's a couple different things I want to talk about real fast. So the first thing is when you hover, you can grab the top of this thing and you can move it around, right? You can also turn it off. If it's not there, it's this little check mark in the bottom left corner. It brings us off and on, right? So you can change the colors right here, right? With the quest tracker, you can change them all. Guess what? Just the quest tracker we're talking about here is what this video will be about. But you can change the colors if you want to, if you change certain colors and all that kind of stuff. But basically, you can also hit these check marks to turn off certain ones. So if you just want to find just this one, you can turn off, you can uncheck everything else and find just that one. Oh, look at that. That's where it is. By the way, if you hover the quests, they will flash. All right, whatever their effects are. Rings are usually exactly where the either quest giver to turn in or to turn in the quest is, or a certain spot you have to go to do something. The rings are usually very, very specific how they do that, okay? And then you have other ones like this one. Now this one is actually, if you go over here, it's an aid one. So one thing that might be tricky for some people, so I'm gonna turn this off. So this one, if I hover this one, there's 3 flashing rings. Now here's the trick though with the aid ones, okay? The aid ones are you have to complete another quest for them. Whatever they ask you to do, these 3 people, aid these 3 people, you need to do for them, right? So what happens is this quest in particular, once you've gone around and accepted all these quest givers, you're going to have to, you could even remove it off the tracker, or when you have these other ones up, just remove that. Because otherwise it's going to get kind of confusing, right? But you're going to have to remember to turn it back on, obviously, if later you're trying to find that quest giver to turn it in. But basically, it's just kind of showing you where those 3 people are at all times to do those quests. So you're never really going to be able to complete them until you've completed the other quest they've given you, and then you go and turn it in, right? And then that ring will disappear at that point for one of the 3 people, whoever you turn it into first. But here's another thing that's really important. Is the different kinds of things. So if I hover all these, the wild runes, that's a very specific spot. You can see the ring flashing. See the ring flashing there on the left side, right? Our arrow is obviously the red arrow is us. Warding, if you look, like for this everyone, there's different area effects. So sometimes they'll have the ring, sometimes they'll have these circles, or like for the spy, the natural one, you can see it's this whole area, this blue area. You can find these fireflies anywhere. This quest is to kill these certain fireflies, right? You can find them anywhere in this location, is basically what they're telling you. And then there's also ones that are like, that aren't super, these ones, they're kind of just flashing in these 3 areas, right? It's saying these 3 areas are the ones. So let me just show you, if I remove these, and then I hover that, well, I want the other ones out of the way. See that, like these areas, see how it's showing these areas? These aren't quite as specific. You kind of have to walk around the areas, but they will show you. Now, there's another thing about quests that is something, if it's a certain area quest, like this one, for example, Ancient Records, this one a second ago was this entire area white. It removed the right side because I found all the ones that were on the right side. So it like shrunk the circle, okay? So that does happen sometimes, but occasionally there will be a quest, this is a little thing just to kind of give you a heads up, where you might be running an area that has a separate chunk of white over here or something, and maybe it's just not been programmed right, or maybe it's just how it is. Sometimes they make it a little more challenging, but usually it should go away, but sometimes it won't. So if you're having trouble finding something in one area that has a white area, go to the other one, or whatever color it is of that lit up area, go to the other area and make sure, if you only need to find 2 out of 8, let's say, go make sure you look there and see if the 2 are there, and then they'll all go away, okay? So that's something to think about. Another thing that's really important is these circles is, these fireflies, to do this big quest, actually are everywhere, okay? They're all over this whole area. But you have to kill them inside the blue, and your character has to be inside the blue. So if you're killing fireflies and you're like, why isn't it giving me credit? What's wrong with this game, right? And you're trying to blame it on the game, just know it's user error, no offense, but it's a half joke. I'm being killed by a bird. But you need to have your character inside. So if your character is not inside, all right, for example, if we go outside, this circle. I'll show you real quick so you know what I'm talking about. I think this is really important. It's something I haven't really touched on in my, you know, tracker guide. I guess I'll call it a tracker guide, I don't know. But see, now that I'm outside it, even if I kill a firefly inside the circle, it won't necessarily give me credit, okay? So like, for example, this crow here, I need to kill Craven in the ruins. This one, I might give me credit. All right, so that one gave me credit because Craven in the ruins are just kind of like all over. Murder wings. Yeah, so I was still slightly, it was inside the thing. So I wasn't necessarily in it, but it was inside. So it does matter. Wow, it got really, really dark in the game just now. It turned nighttime in Mirkwood. Oh, I went outside that's why the border. So again, make sure if you're not getting credit, make sure that you are inside the circle or the outlined area. For example, this blue big box for this quest, and make sure the creature is also inside it. So if you're not getting, if you're like, I'm inside it and it's not, so example, here's one of the fireflies. So I'm gonna go outside of the blue thing and I'm gonna show you. All right, so I need only to kill one more to get its glands, right? It should give it to me, but if you notice, I did not get it. And it's like, why didn't I get it? Well, because the creature and me were outside the blue area. The circle in the middle of your square, your triangle, I'm gonna kill by ward. That is where you are, okay? So the triangle's a little bigger than your actual character, so like there, I'm inside now, okay? So any firefly I now find inside should drop me that particular item. Some quests are drop an item instead of like just kill the creature. Those sometimes will just not drop. There's like a 20% chance it just won't drop. So you have to kill some more, right? That happens. That's not, don't worry about that. But basically now, if I show you this, I want to show you about the ruins thing. Okay, so I'm gonna bring these back up, these quests. So remember those, that white circle. So when I take up this one, I have another 2 to do. I did not shrink the area for this particular quest because it basically, I just need to find the other one. It's basically saying in this area. But you know, if it's on that side, I'm assuming the other one is on this side. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of them. That's why I didn't shrink it. There's more than the actual quest needs. You need 8 of them. There's probably like 15. All right, so that's why I didn't shrink it. It's just saying they're all in this area, so watch. See, the white went away, and it said 8 out of 8, I completed the quest. So now, if I go to that same Ancient Ruins quest, if I hover it, now it should update and tell me who I need to bring it to. All right, so talk to, let's see, the Ancient Ruins in Ostgalahad, talk to Agorian, right? So let me just remove the other ones so you can see. So now look, the white went away. It's the same white quest, right? But now you can see it moved to a ring because it's telling me a specific place now to go to turn the quest in to that person because I've completed it. It's not leaving that area anymore, right? So again, and there are more colors. You can switch to more colors on things if you want. I think there's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 colors. They probably should add another 2 now that they've made it 10. But you know, I'm not going to complain because I'm very happy there's 10 now. But yeah, so that's pretty much how you do it and how you work around the quest thing, and a couple little tricks that I want to tell you about that I think are really, really important for new players to know, or people who just need a refresher on Lord of the Rings Online, or maybe something you've been playing a long time, you just never realized these things, okay? Again, you're welcome to leave comments. I will answer questions. If this did help you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you to my patrons for their support. Subscribe button's there. If you like Lord of the Rings Online or Lord of the Rings content or just positivity and fun, you're in the right place, my friends. Next episode will be up there for guides, and over there's a LOTRO tale where I do voiceovers in the Lord of the Rings Online. So we have a lot of fun. It's a fun game. But again, I love the quest tracker in LOTRO. I think it's very nice. They've been updating maps and stuff over time because they're a little bit more detailed. You can see kind of the ups and downs. So Mirkwood's actually technically been updated, this map. You can see the ups and downs of the hills and the roads, so it's a little easier to find things. But yeah, and also if you need help finding things too and the quest tracker is just not helping you good enough, make sure you look up, go on the LOTRO wiki, all right? I will link the LOTRO wiki down there in the comments, as well as a bunch of other stuff, social medias I have down there that will help you out if you need to look up a specific quest. You literally just need to look up the name of the quest, go in your quest tracker, you know, Murder of the Wing, on the wing, okay? Look that up. This quest will be there, And again, it will have it'll have a map there showing you where to go as well on the LOTRO wiki. And you can hover it and it'll show you an exact coordinates. And if you want to know where the coordinates are to use, they're right under the radar up there at the top. Okay, so you can see I am at 15.2 south by 51.4 west. So when you walk around, that changes. So in the LOTRO wiki, if you need to know an exact location because the tracker isn't helping you in some way, the tracker's pretty dang good in this game, but occasionally you find a quest that's just still challenging to find or you're confused, just walk around. And one last trick for quest tracker finding things is up and down. Okay, so this is all radar, like straight down on the map. Sometimes a quest may be on like an upper floor of something. So if you're walking around, you're like, I do not see a quest giver. Look for stairs somewhere nearby or down, going down into a hole, or it may be a quest that's in a door, in a room, okay? So if you see a quest and you're like, I don't see a quest giver out here, look for a door on the wall, right? Or some kind of passageway in Lord of the Rings Online that's usually like a hole, like if it's a cave that like you teleport into or something, you don't just walk into, but you teleport into. It has like that little Eye of Sauron effect, and you know, it's like this weird little glassy effect. You walk into it and then you go into the room, basically. That's something else to keep in mind. Okay? Hopefully that helps you out. Baruch Kazan Kuzan menu. Have a great and wonderful day in Middle Earth, and see you in the next episode of Voice of the Rings.